So now in this video we're going to do a quick review, or if you're new to this circuit, a quick lesson. And if you like quick lessons, hopefully you'll like this video. But in any case, this is the PNP. You can see the arrow is pointing in. Bipolar junction transistor emitter follower. So the arrow is the emitter side of the transistor. We have our load over there, and we have a resistor, 10 kilo ohm there, to help hold the voltage at the emitter. So in any case, when it comes to the PNP bipolar junction transistor emitter follower, in relationship to ground, the emitter is going to be about 0.6, 0.7 volts higher than the voltage given to the base of the transistor. So we're going to use a trim pot right there, 10 kilo ohm trim pot. You can either go up to, since we're using 10 volt supply, up to 10 volts, or turn it anywhere down to 0 volts right there. But whatever voltage you set to the base, if you try to power a load directly like an LED, it'll throw the voltage way off. So the transistor transfers that voltage to the load. But since it's a PNP bipolar junction transistor, you can see the emitter is on the positive side of the circuit. So the voltage is actually going to be about 0.6, 0.7 volts higher at this point across the transistor when we do that. So now, the load is not going directly to ground. It has a transistor to go through. It is directly to the positive supply right there. So unless we put it to 5 volts using a 10 volt supply, it won't be the same voltage across the load that you have set right there. It's going to be in relationship to the positive supply. So what we're going to do, we're going to give the base about 3.4 volts approximately. That's going to give us pretty close to 4 volts at the emitter right there. If we have a 10 volt supply and then 4 volts over there, that's a 6 volt difference across the load right there. So of that 10 volts, 6 across the load, 4 across the transistor. And so zooming in on the circuit, I'm going to use a 510 ohm resistor because we have 10 volts at the power supply. So that's enough to protect the LED from about 10 volts approximately. Long lead the anode of the LED to the resistor, short lead the cathode to the emitter resistor and the emitter right there, 10 kilo ohm resistor. So this is a 2N3906, a PNP bipolar junction transistor. So since it is PNP, we want the emitter on top. The base is the middle pin, and then the collector down towards the bottom. So flat side is to the left right there. You can see those pins. So we got the base right there. Going to the middle pin, the wiper of the trim pot. And it's set to about 3.4 volts now, but it's a lot more interesting to take voltage measurements. So hopefully we can see everything we want to see. So we got voltage there, and be better to just look at what we can see right here. Now, as I said before, we're talking about the voltages in relationship to ground. So not so much the voltages in relationship to the LED as much. So there you can see we got, as I said, about 3.4 volts. If I come up to the emitter of the transistor right there, then we'll have about 0.6 volts higher right there. So we got about 4 approximately right there. And we could also look at the voltage gain that we got there, about 0.66 across the the base and the emitter right there. But in any case, that's what we got there. We have a 10 volt power supply, and so we got 4 volts taken away from the LED, which leaves about 6 volts across the LED right there. So that's really about it. I'm keeping this video quick, and so hopefully you enjoy that. Make sure you turn the meter off when you're done. But in any case, check out one of the other videos that I'm posting. Click like, subscribe, the bell, that, donate to Patreon if you can. That helps out the most. I have links down in the description. But just watching a bunch of videos helps out a ton. Thanks to everybody that does that. I will see you in the next video.